This is the second video of my mini series of why you can't lose weight. My name is Prewitt. I help high achieving women regulate their nervous system through movement, not restriction, so that they can lose weight, feel safe in their body, heal for good. Today, we're going to dive into the next step of the healing pyramid. So last time we talked about our brain, our HP axis. This time we're going to talk about blood sugar and insulin and how a lot of people kind of get that confused, but we'll go straight into it. So you've probably been told insulin is just about carbs and blood sugar. Yeah, it is, but there's a lot more that goes into that and what nobody tells you. If you didn't know, even if you're quote unquote eating healthy or you quote unquote look healthy, it doesn't matter what you're putting into your body. Your blood sugar could be all over the place if your nervous system is completely dysregulated. So the solution, at least at this point, is not cutting carbs. It's not doing keto. It's not fasting. It's actually regulating your nervous system, calming your cortisol, working with your biology. In this video, I'm going to show you why your blood sugar spikes even if you eat quote unquote healthy food, what insulin resistant actually feels like versus what it is, how emotional and spiritual dysfunction can affect you physically, why body safe movement is actually key, not dieting, when it comes to improving your metabolic function or how your body uses food. And the biggest one, cravings, why cravings aren't necessarily bad, they're actually signals, and what they mean when it comes to serotonin, dopamine, all those fun little neurochemicals and stuff that our brain produces. If you look up anything involved with blood sugar, you can go on Wikipedia, watch other podcasts, whatever, do your own research. It's going to talk about, for blood sugar, things to do or not to do. The biggest one, if we talk about insulin, is cut your carbs, reduce your carbs. And like I said before, fasting, keto, all these things. And it's a lot of restriction. It's all about restriction. But if you are having lots of cravings, especially for sugar or for fat or anything like that, you're exhausted, you wake up between 2 to 4 in the morning, you crave sweets when you're stressed out throughout the day, you can completely have a carb crash or you're just exhausted by like 2 p.m. I'm gonna let you know those aren't normal things. That is your body saying, help me. Your body is trying to regulate itself. Its nervous system is trying to regulate itself. And it's causing your brain or you to seek certain things to help it. And one of the biggest myths we hear a lot of time, and it logically makes sense, right? When it comes to fat loss, weight loss, is calories in versus calories out. Either you have to eat less or you move more. Technically, that is the case, but if your nervous system is dysregulated, it doesn't matter. Your blood sugar is going to be super high up, and it's a matter of regulating your nervous system, not restricting, taking things more away from you, which can jack up your stress level, making it harder for you to lose weight. I'm not gonna lie, I've had problems with food, or let me rephrase, I used to have problems with food or challenges with food on both ends. Either I would super restrict, or in this case, like I'm gonna talk today, I would binge eat and I did not care. And I literally lived off cookies for a while, but that's a whole other thing. But I had a lot of guilt when it came to what I was putting into my body. Because, hey, like, I'm a personal trainer and online coach. Like, I'm telling people to eat clean, eat this. And I'm over here just open up a pack of new cookies, being like popping them like pills. Like, why am I doing this? I don't understand why I can't stop, right? And I realized whenever because this is my pattern, I would eat really clean, I would work out, do all the right things. And then late at night, after working 12 plus hour days, dealing with people, not that I don't like dealing with my clients, I love my clients, but I was stressed out, I was exhausted, I was burnt, I could have been overstimulated because the gym or whatever. I used sugar as my coping mechanism, not realizing why I was being drawn to the sugar until I actually sat down and paused. And I realized when I was in this more silent mode, I'm like, okay, Sierra, like literally as I'm like eating a piece of cookie, like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the reason behind this? And I realized, okay, it's because I'm overwhelmed, overstimulated, like I'm emotionally depleted. But why am I using these cookies as my source to quote unquote fix things and fix it instantly? Because after I'd eat, I'd feel guilty and horrible. And then the cycle would restart again. And I realized, okay, what is sugar? What am I getting for sugar? And I was like, oh man, I'm bumping up my serotonin and dopamine level. I'm trying to bump things up so I can feel good. I can have energy, like they're happy hormones, right? The motivation, drive, all these things. And naturally, I already have a lower set level of dopamine, serotonin, or just like the happy hormones. When I'm dysregulated, let's say, quote unquote, normal people are here with their neurotransmitters, like I'm right here already. So there's certain things in my life that I need to do to be quote unquote normal. So when I'm overstimulated, dysregulated, emotionally depleted, and I'm here and I'm trying to use these cookies to bring me back to here, but then those cookies don't help me, they just stress me out because it's not good for my body. So then I'm back down to here. And like I said, it's just that horrible vicious cycle. I didn't know what to do to stop it. And then use a better coping mechanism to help me long term and also to help you guys. Hey, because you're learning from my lessons. Cool. So essentially, cravings are not character flaws. They're actually, it's your brain chemistry going on. Your body's kind of telling you, hey, what do I need? What do I need to do instead? For me, for example, when my body was super dysregulated when it came to my blood sugar levels and insulin and whatever, like I said, I could eat clean, do all the right things. I still was in chaos mode. And so I will take the cookies, for example. I'll eat the cookies. The cookies are bad for me. But let's say I ate this beautiful rainbow meal I had. It didn't matter because my body was still in a state of stress. And because of such, my body is not going to regulate. It's not going to use this quote unquote healthy food in the way that it should. It's going to use it as if I ate cookies. I'm really dumbing this down as much as I can. Instead of using it for fuel, my body's like, it's in survival mode. It doesn't know what's happening, especially if I'm going from cycles of eat, restrict, eat, restrict, eat, restrict. And so my body's going to take this beautiful plate of colorful food and it's going to store it. Even though I could be working out more or I can be eating less, my body doesn't know what's happening. So it's going to be like, hey, bro, we're going to keep this and we're going to put it on your stomach because that's where it needs to be. We're going to store it like a camel for another day. And that's the cycle we need to stop. So, like analogy you can think of is pretend like you have a crystal glass and it's beautiful, but there's cracks in it. And you could be pouring super clean filtered water and it's still leaking no matter what because things aren't regulated. Your blood sugar is not regulated. And how did the cracks occur? Well, those cracks are stress. So we need to resolve whatever stress factors are going on because we can keep on pouring and it just keeps on spilling over. And that's all. And so these stresses, they don't necessarily need to be physical. Like I said, for me, some of it was physical, but a lot of it was emotional too. If we don't address our stressors, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is in your life, then like I said, those leaks are gonna occur. And so what we need to do instead is seal those cracks. And then what you're pouring into your body can actually utilize that and not store it in the way you don't want it to be stored. So going back to one of the most common trends or advices you hear is just cut the carbs, cut the sugar, that's what's gonna help. Or ignore those cravings or ignore those signals your body is telling you. You can hear like, go for a walk, pattern disrupt, don't eat in the place where you get triggered, whatever, all those things, yeah. Some of it works, it does work, but if you want to get to the deeper root of it all, we gotta go even further than that surface level kind of area. So when your blood sugar is unstable, you physically can feel like shaky, but your thought processes and what you're thinking of on like the second or minute to minute kind of vibe is not being in the present. You're probably unconsciously thinking about how can I get this high, right? It could be sugar, it could be salty, whatever. You're typically thinking of food because you're trying to fix whatever discomfort is going on in the inside. And so that can be, like I said, it could be physical discomfort. Maybe that something really twisted came into my brain, like you got hit by a car. It could be mental. It could be a lot of stress at work. Maybe you got a new position and just learning all the new things is just so overwhelming. It can be emotional. And let's say, unfortunately, you're having problems in a relationship, or it can be spiritual, like you're fighting with God or whatever your higher power is. Like it can be multiple things. And speaking of spirituality and your higher power and emotions, the two biggest things that are connected to the cycle of binge eating essentially is, like I've mentioned before, guilt. I had a lot of guilt and there's also shame associated with that too. And if we're dealing with those two things, those are more so spiritual things if you kind of think about it. For me, for example, I was trying to control how I was feeling and how to regulate my nervous system in a way that wasn't healthy for me versus letting go of that control. So spiritual disruptors are just as important, if not more, than physical ones, like me eating the cookie. There's something more deeper than me just eating a cookie. Well, I was eating more than just a cookie, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Ultimately, our bodies they're very fascinating. And when we don't feel safe, we are doing whatever it takes to be in survival mode. And when we are in survival mode, we tend to kind of gravitate towards any quick fixes. You can think of, this might be another extreme example, but it popped into my head. Addicts, right? They go to an extreme option. They'll do drugs, they'll do alcohols, they'll drink alcohol to fix whatever emotionally is going on in the inside. There's the other extreme too, and I'll use food because that's what we're talking about today. Food. I don't know what I'm feeling and I don't like it, so I'm gonna cope with food instead. So, typical things that you might be asking yourself, and I've definitely have thought about this myself too, and I've questioned myself. I'm exhausted. I'll get back to it tomorrow. Monday. I'll start Monday. I'm gonna do it on Monday. I got you, don't worry. When you just binged again or whatever. I've done this one. You know, I already had a bite of a cookie. I already ate 3. Man, screw it. Let's just keep on going. I mean, I already dig this hole. What's the more damage gonna do? It's not gonna do anything. It will. And the one I use a lot in the past, and sometimes I do too, I'm not perfect, is what's wrong with me. I always go back to what's wrong with my brain? Why am I doing this when I know consciously, like, I'm doing something. I'm in the actual act of like putting things into myself or doing things to myself I shouldn't be doing. These thought patterns are things we put into our brain and actions that we do. There's nothing wrong with it, but they do feed into this whole quick fix. Like, I need to fix this now. I don't like how I feel, so we need to fix it ASAP. And think of it like the state of desperation, right? We're desperate to grab onto something. And unfortunately, like for me, as an example, I grabbed onto cookies. So sugars, fat, carbs, anything for that quick high, that quick fix. But it ultimately led me to despair, emptiness. It just didn't satisfy that hole that I was trying to fill. And I'm trying to ground myself. And I can't ground myself with cookies. They ultimately degrade anyway. They're not gonna do anything. I brought this up before. When you eat, for example, high sugar, high fat, whatever, carbs, they spike serotonin, dopamine levels, those feel good, satisfying things. And that's where that cycle will repeat. I feel bad because I ate something, but screw it. I'm gonna keep on eating it. I'm gonna feel good. And then those levels dip down again. And you're like, I don't feel good anymore. I feel horrible. But I remember what made me feel good. Dumb cookie. Let's get dumb cookies, man. And then I feel good. And then I feel horrible again because, man, I just had like a whole, I went to Costco and bought the whole container and now they're gone in like an hour. And then the cycle repeats again. It's just this vicious cycle. So to solve this, instead of judging yourself, instead of shaming yourself, just sit back and out of love, question yourself. And it may take some time, it may take some practice. Let's pretend I'm on my way to Costco about to get some cookies and I legit could be in line and all of a sudden I'm like, oh wait, I'm gonna pause. Like literally just pause. Pause and think, what is my body really needing in this moment in time? Does it need these cookies or does it need something else? And then go deeper. What do I need? What is my body trying to tell me? I'm completely dysregulated. My nervous system is out the hoo-ha, and all it knows for coping skills is quick fixes. What's the long-term solution I can think of? What is the need I'm trying to meet with these cookies or with whatever food you're trying to use to regulate yourself instead? Now, it might be hard, and you might have to honestly do this in private for a little bit, and you can't do it in public. That's cool. Just walk your little butt outside, get back in your car and sit there for a while. For me, when I realized that I was trying to control how I felt with food and some other things, I'm not gonna lie, I've tried it all, man. I've literally tried it all. It hasn't been just food. But ultimately, the solution is not more control. It's releasing that control. Releasing the instant gratification of a quick fix or you choose repair over restriction. You interrupt this binge cycle, this shame cycle over and over again. And you start slowly building trust with yourself, but your body can start trusting you more and more, and it's not gonna automatically go into autopilot and be like, All right, food. All right, food. Or what other coping mechanisms you use. Your body needs consistency. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs consistent action towards this. So think of cravings, not a flaw, but more so like an invitation to explore yourself more, to understand why you're doing certain things and figure out those needs you really truly need to meet internally. And those needs could be physical, emotional, mental, and like I said, spiritual. For me, one of the needs for me was definitely like physically, I was overstimulated. I would use food to kind of ground myself. But one of the needs I was trying to fix or fill that hole in my heart was the spiritual part. I felt like I had no connection to a purpose or like why I'm on this earth. And I honestly didn't feel loved. Oh, that's deep. So I filled this deep hole with cookies and a lot of other things. I know this may sound kind of like hocus pocus. So stress, trauma, lack of safety does increase dopamine-driven food seeking or desire. And serotonin depletion actually increases you to seek more carbs. So even though we may think, and I definitely think I have control over my body and my brain, I don't. I literally don't, because my brain will easily shift towards something. Like my brain is just like a hormonal, chemical, like, I don't know, GPS machine that's looking for my next hit. Like all I'm doing is trying to figure out how can I get this next high. And I'm just kind of I'm gonna try to do it in whatever means is the easiest. But my spirit, that's the part of me that's like, no, Sierra, like calm your tits. Like this is not the best way. What's gonna help you long term, not think short term. The next thing is a lot of fitness experts or influencers, whatever, they'll talk about the best ways to lower your blood sugar levels or your insulin is by removing carbs and fasting and doing like high interval training. Logically, it makes sense, right? If my blood sugar is high, why give it more carbs? Why give it more sugar? And if I'm full, if I'm saturated with a lot of glucose, one of the quickest ways to burn it is to do a lot of like aerobic activities, a lot of high intensity things. But a lot of these studies, if you actually kind of dive in and look into it, they were done on men. And it's not cool, man. Like, if you're a woman, like you need to figure out what's going to be best for you because our hormones are they're not completely different. They're on a different cycle. Men are 24. We're a monthly cycle. And so we're just as important and some more studies need to be done. But anywho, they don't consider our monthly fluctuations and how that affects us and our stress level. When we try to do things that were, I don't want to say designed, but a lot of the studies that were done, they were done on men. If us women, we do those, it actually dysregulates us even more. So like I said, it's not a matter of restricting. It's actually like, here, let's give you the tools, let's give you the things that's gonna work for you long term. Interestingly, women's hormones respond more to stress than men do. So this is just a whole, like, just that fact alone should tell you like, hey, I shouldn't really do this protocol because it's done on men and men only. And we're naturally more inclined to conserve more energy when we are stressed or when we're in survival mode or whatever. And so just like imagine your daily basis. Let's say if you have family and you got like toddlers crawling all over the floor screaming at you, on top of the fact that, hey, you could be making a business. You could be a CEO. You could be, I don't know, you could just be working a normal 9 to 5. Or let's say that you're active too and you're trying to, dude, it's life, man. It's life. We're not in a little containment and like lab rats where you can do a social experiment on. There's so many variables that people deal with on a daily basis. When you add more stress upon things, we naturally are like, all right, we're going to save this for another day. Whatever you eat, we're going to store it. Like I said, like a camel, man. We kind of like a camel with a little camel back. Not cute. So when you're already dealing with those day-to-day stressors and then you add more stress, like keto, fasting, high intensity interval training, that's more stress on your body. We're dealing with more stress. We're getting more dysregulated. And you can honestly, you might even notice yourself that like, why am I gaining more weight? Well, it's because your body's stressed and it's trying to help you, but you haven't yet correlated all these signs to slow down versus, hey, let's keep on pushing the gas pedal. Let's keep on going. When you increase these stressors in your body, not only are you going to be increasing your insulin levels or resistance, that means hormonally things are going to be disrupted as well too. Think of progesterone, estrogen, your thyroid levels, all things that they help you just to feel good in general, but it helps you when it comes to your metabolic system, especially when we talk about the thyroid. So personally for me, I've literally tried it all. As I begin this, I will say it did work. All this worked. When I did fasted, I've been vegan, keto, carb cycled, everything you think of, man, really. I've done it all. It did work. I did get shredded, and there was consequences to that. When I was really dysregulated and I did not know I was dysregulated, and I tried to go back to what worked in the past and didn't work this time, and it made things worse. And so let's pretend like I fasted 3 days. Oh, cool, like I lost 5 pounds. Yeah, man, I was like 5 pounds of water. Bloat, wasn't really a lot of fat. And then the moment I started to just eat again or think about food, I gained that same weight back and then some. And I wasn't understanding what was wrong, what was going on. Oh, lo and behold, it's because of stress. I'm dysregulated. My nervous system is not feeling safe to let go. And so when I would eat, especially carbs, and it could be the cleanest carbs on earth, organic, I literally just picked it out from the ground. My body it saw it as a threat almost and treated it as such because it's like, hey, you're not safe, so we're going to store it for another day because you keep on doing these fast. Think of it more like this, like we need to partner with our body. And the funny thing is too, carbs does help with your cortisol levels. It helps with your serotonin. It mitigates some of that stress. So you need carbs. So restricting is not going to help. It's a matter of eating it in the appropriate amounts. And when I say appropriate amounts, don't limit yourself, don't restrict, but also don't go like I did with the cookies, haywire. It's more so sprinkle it. Like, does your body need fuel? Yeah, so let's eat some carbs and fat and protein and have meals that are like solid and good and not like no carbs and then a big carb meal, or I'm not gonna eat throughout the entire day and just only have one meal. That's a lot of stress too. So just give your body what you need and listen to your body. Like, what kind of carbs does your body want? Do you feel good eating those carbs? No? Okay, change it. Does it feel better eating these? Okay, cool. Keep on doing that. The solution to this isn't another diet. It's restoring safety on every level. And when we talk about physical, it could be any kind of training. I'm going to use strength training as an example. It's strength training that is regulating your nervous system. Ones that are not like pushing that stress threshold too much so you're dysregulated or you're just more stressed out. Meals that are consisted of a protein, a fat, and a carb, and not one or the other or just a couple, like the whole shebang. Make sure you eat fiber, all that good jazz. It could also mean walking after a meal to help stabilize your blood sugar and use the energy that you just consumed and help mobilize things in your gut a little bit more. Emotionally, it means slip-ups or binges aren't something that's bad. It's just honor those, realize what your body's actually needing, pause, self-reflect for a little bit, figure out what are you trying to satisfy in the inside, and either go to that new coping mechanism or ask for help and figure out what that is for you. Mentally, it's kind of getting out of this black or white or all or nothing kind of thinking like, oh, I messed up. Well, I'm just gonna keep on going. Instead of thinking in yes or no, think of the in-between zone, the gray zone, man. It's a cool place. Not everyone is very polarizing. We're somewhere in the middle. Choose curiosity over shame when it comes to your mentality and how you view and treat food. Then there's spirituality. So spirituality, start journaling and talk to your higher power, whatever it is. Question yourself. You can even ask your higher power, like, hey, I'm having a hard time actually figuring out what my needs are. Can you help me figure this out? Because I would like to honor my body, but also you too, because you gave me this body. And I don't want to use food as a way of me trying to control something inside of me, but instead release that control to you. Another thing that I forgot to mention too, and I guess it kind of goes throughout all of them, is breathing. So be intentional with your breathing. If that's meditating, if that's box breathing, or if it's just like when you work out, bicep curl. Are you breathing out and breathing in when you're working out, or are you just moving your body to move? Like, do something interesting. Be purposeful with your movement in with your breath, because science does prove this. Research shows that breath-led activity doesn't just improve strength, it also reduces cortisol levels as well. And going back to the whole glucose and insulin, it helps regulate it too, making it one of the most powerful or supporting things you can do for your body. Like I said, when it comes to regulating your nervous system, your cortisol levels, your stress levels, and how your body uses food, in general. Insulin isn't just a hormone that's all around carbs. View it as a hormone that decides, hey, are we gonna use this for energy or are we gonna store it for another day? But what a lot of people in the fitness industry and maybe doctors don't really realize is that when you're in a stressful state or a dysregulated state, you really don't have that option. And insulin is not gonna work properly. It's automatically gonna go to, hey, we're gonna store this for another day. And so it's a matter of, hey, what can we do to fix this? Our body, our smart bodies can have an option. It doesn't have to go store 24/7. If you're constantly on the go, so constantly on the go can be overworking, like you're skipping meals, you're surviving on caffeine, you could be emotionally or physically taken care of, but most importantly, just like avoiding stillness, and you're just packing your schedule nonstop to avoid internally what's going on, your body is gonna stay in this survival mode. Even if you think in your brain, you're like, I'm good, I'm chill, your body is literally freaking out. And that is what's gonna keep your cortisol levels high. Same thing when it comes to your blood sugar. Hey, it's party and insulin. Hey. Even without food, cortisol is gonna increase your blood sugar levels. This is where insulin sensitivity comes into play. It reduces it over time. Well, that means, like I have been saying, what you do eat, it doesn't matter. It could be the smallest plate of grapes or carrots. It will spike your blood sugar. Another thing is you'll eat a meal and you'll crash right after. You'll get super tired. You start noticing you're gaining fat, like around your midsection, getting the donut, the tire, love handles, all those beautiful things. And the biggest one, you're gonna feel like you're doing everything, but you're literally not going anywhere. Or you're going somewhere, but it's not the place you wanna go, and that's not a cool place to be. The hard part and the sad part is a lot of women don't realize they're in this cycle, because when you're just on a day-to-day, just going, thinking about the next thing and avoiding stillness, you're not allowing your body the opportunity to chill for a little bit, for you to catch up what your body is trying to tell you. That way you can give your body what it actually needs so that you can calm down, regulate your nervous system, lower your blood sugar, so your body can use the glucose for fuel and not store it as fat. And I completely get it, because this whole like be in stillness, be with my thoughts and emotions, dude, it is super scary. Like I avoided it for, man, how old I am? I'm looking at my watch like it's an age. I avoided it for years. I didn't want to know what my body was telling me because it's scary. I can't sing, we're gonna continue. Avoiding stillness is by like, hey, managing others. Like I said, packing your schedule, pleasing people, whatever the scenario is, that's not gonna help us long term. So ultimately, you don't have a discipline problem. You don't need to do another reset. What you really need to do, you have a nervous system and hormonal or hormone mismatch. That's what's really going on. Think of it like this: insulin resistance is another way of your body saying, hey, I don't feel safe enough to let go. I'm trying to control. I have that stillness, right? And me avoiding things. So I did this a lot. I didn't want to be in the stillness, but I couldn't, and I did it on purpose because I didn't want to hear God, right? God just lays down facts and truths, and I was not ready to hear them. But in order for me to heal, I needed to listen and to quiet my mind. Ultimately, what it came down to was, Sierra, stop performing and start healing. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and they all require safety and stillness. So the solution to restoring your insulin sensitivity isn't about eating differently or restricting or anything else in between. Sounds odd, but it's actually about thinking different. So when you live in a state of fear, so fear of food, fear of safety, fear of it doesn't matter what I do, like I can't fix it, I can't control it, or like, hey, my body's the problem. You keep yourself in this survival mode, and your thoughts create more cortisol, because they're negative thoughts, they're not positive, happy thoughts. Busyness, jam-packing your schedule, those become avoidance, right? You're avoiding what you're trying not to feel. and your body and the wisdom it's trying to tell you, and you trying to avoid that wisdom, it's going to turn into inflammation, lack of energy, and your body's going to literally do whatever it takes or thinks it needs to survive. So in my case, cookies and other things. Okay. Fun fact of the day. So blood sugar can essentially increase regardless if you eat food or not, because if you're still super stressed, that's going to increase your cortisol levels. Your mind plays a huge factor. Even if you do all the things I've addressed before, if mentally you're just being negative to yourself, your body's like, okay, man. And you can just go on a whole 7-day fast and your body's still, its blood sugar is going to be not off the roof. I can't speak. Will be all over the place. Think about it like this. What if your healing doesn't come from doing more and being busy, but actually doing less? Doing less and slowing down. Slowing down to the point where you feel safe, you feel calm, you feel peace, and you can actually listen to what your body needs. And when you listen to these needs and you're actually in the stillness, to me, it's a form of meditation. Whenever I'm meditating, that's when I can clearly hear God more. And when I was in this shame cycle with food, God revealed to me that the more I let go of this control, the more I had a positive mindset about how I viewed food and how I viewed my body when it came to food, the more I realized, hey, I'm good now. I'm safe now. I can let go. I can finally heal. And then my body started to change as time went on. Spiritual safety kind of trickles down and ultimately creates that physical safety where your body now understands, okay, it's good to let go and to heal. And yeah, like I said, your body will change. Signs your body is dysregulated. Oh, and what I mean by dysregulated, your blood sugar is dysregulated. If you didn't know the signs, I'm about to tell you right now. Stubborn weight gain, or like I said, weight around the midsection, fatigue, or feeling emotionally tired as well. Like you just can't deal with people. You're just like, ugh, I'm over it. Some of the really like underlying ones that show up really quick, that's gonna be mood swings, feeling exhausted no matter what you do. You could be drinking 500 milligrams of caffeine, eating a ton of sugar, you're still not getting the energy. Snapping at people when you're hangry or just irritable, carb crash, or you're just exhausted. Like you're like, man, I'm tired. It's only like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Feeling anxious out of nowhere. If you're menstruating still, a lot of things can happen around your monthly cycles, especially with PMS. So like, we all get emotional, but your emotions could be legit like a roller coaster. It's like super intense. You can get bloated. Everyone gets bloated, but it can be a lot of bloat weight. Your breasts can feel tender. You have strong cravings more so than normal. You just can't stop eating. You could have hot flashes too, especially if you're premenopausal. So insomnia is a big one. You're having a hard time with sleep. But these aren't just hormonal quirks or personality flaws. Oh, it's just that time of the month. That's just a woman thing. Yeah, we're women, but no, they're not quirks. Those are red flags. Like, pay attention to that. Like, your body's trying to tell you. If you go to a really good endocrinologist, they're going to say, hey, your period shouldn't be painful. Sure, you may have discomfort, but it shouldn't be horrible. It shouldn't be like you need to be put on meds because you're just that insane with your PMS symptom. When your body doesn't feel safe, same thing with your hormones. Your hormones are going to be completely dysregulated. And how your cells use hormones as well, they're not going to optimally use them. And that's, once again, it goes all the way back to insulin and glucose and how your body uses it. So this chronic stress and this relationship with sugar or just blood sugar in general, it does affect your HPO axis. So we talked about your HPA, right? Hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenals. So instead of the adrenals, it's just your ovarian. So your ovaries, your HPO. So HPA, HB. And that is a system that is responsible for anything that has to do with our reproductive system. If you have crazy mood swings or your PMS is insane or you're premenopausal and it's just crazy, regulating your nervous system is going to help all these beautiful things when it comes to, just how your body utilizes things, utilizes energy. And I guess the theme of topic today is insulin and blood sugar. So think of it like this, more insulin resistance, more painful periods you're going to have. And if you were premenopausal, I'm so sorry. I know what it feels like because I've been there too and it sucks. And I got it when I was at 26. Hey, because of the things I did to my body. You can mitigate or reduce that transitional period of your life. It doesn't need to be like horrific, like in a horror movie, how people describe like, man, like just you wait until you get them hot flashes. Like it doesn't have to be like super, super bad. The solution, you say, and I'm not a doctor. I had just done a lot of education. And I just know just from a lot of experience myself going through all these hormonal changes and fluctuations. One of the things you can do is how you use food. So instead of restricting and doing fasting, that works best for men. Within an hour of when you wake up, eat food. And eat food with protein. Like give your brain some dopamine to begin with so it keeps you full too. Eat something with some carbs, serotonin, happy, I feel good. We want those. And then fat to kind of maintain it long term to give you that energy versus like I just ate and now I'm hungry and it's only been an hour. Also pair it with some sort of fiber too. It's going to help with the fullness, but it's going to help with that spike of insulin too. Or sugar spike, I should say. Avoid fasting or low carb during your luteal phase of your cycle or when you're underneath or under a lot of stress. And if you haven't been doing it already, track your cycles. You can anticipate the fact that, hey, I might be a little bit emotional during this time of month, or hey, I understand that my body naturally is going to start seeking for quick fixes, because then hopefully by now you understand what your body needs and you can start doing those things beforehand. So when your period does start, you don't go crazy, because I used to go crazy for like 2 weeks out of the month. And when you think about it, that's half a year and ain't nobody got time for that. Don't push anymore. Get rid of this mindset of go, 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 go. Just honor what your body needs for the season, the phase, the day, the week, for where you're at. Yeah, don't let people like peer pressure into like, just keep on doing it. Just keep on going. Like you're gonna feel great. I'd be like, hey, you're a dude telling me what to do. And you don't understand how I feel. And my body is saying, I need food. Or it could be like, hey, I can't do all this crazy like CrossFit stuff. Like maybe I just want to do yoga today. Maybe I want to walk. Maybe I just want to sit my butt on this couch and watch TV. What's wrong with that? So give your body what it needs. And if someone keeps on pushing you to do something, you can come up with this fact and be like, hey man, I've done some research. And during the luteal cycle of my period, I naturally become more insulin resistant. Yeah, like don't restrict, don't do all this stuff. Don't stress me out, because I'll just be a 10 times worse person to be around. The moral of the story, when your body feels safe, it stops holding on. Cravings will stop, or they'll like reduce, or they'll soften, and your energy starts returning back to baseline. And that's where you start seeing not only your insulin level and your blood sugar to start like regulating again, that also means that you'll start seeing some results finally, because now your body is utilizing food for energy and not for storage. Question for you. What if the real fight isn't with your weight, but with the story you're telling yourself that you're broken? Your body's not the enemy. Your body's been faithful, responding to every season you've been through and where it's going to go through in the future. And real safety, and it starts when you stop trying to earn your way to healing, and you start trusting your body signals, or for me, from what God is trying to tell me in those still moments. So if you have been experiencing any of the things that I've mentioned throughout this entire little part 2 of the mini episode, then I suggest you clicking the link below and grab my 7-minute nervous system reset. And what's cool about it, it starts with your body first. It's led through breath-led movements to reduce your stress so that you can finally listen in that stillness. Because when your body feels safety, then your mind feels safety, and you can listen to what your higher power or what God is trying to tell you what you need long-term to regulate your nervous system so you can actually lose the weight you want long-term. So yeah, click the link below. Once again, my name is Sierra Prewitt. I'm an online nervous system based personal trainer / wellness coach. Next episode in this cool little mini series, the 3rd one will be why your liver can't detox. We'll actually talk more about detoxing and how to do it correctly, and why sometimes when you do detox, you don't see any results at all. And we'll learn how to do that naturally. Also, subscribe so you don't forget the next one. Comment, because I appreciate any personal feedback. Like if you got something new out of this today. Other than that, bye, deuces. My brain needs food.